I was originally playing tennis in high school, and obviously because I was tall, coaches came up to me and asked me if I wanted to row. And I hesitated to begin with because some of my friends who had rowed in the summer programs at school said it was the toughest thing they had ever done. So I decided to maybe play tennis for another week before I committed. After leaving tennis and committing to rowing, I found that I really did like it a lot, and ended up sticking with it throughout high school, which is, I went to South Kent School in Connecticut, and from there I rowed at Northeastern University. I've gotten personally a lot out of rowing. It's taught me a lot, being on the different teams that I've been on through high school, college, and through the national teams that I was part of as well. It's obviously a physical challenge out there. I think rowing is the second most physical sport type next to cross-country skiing. Mentally, I think it's really challenging, and you really got to dig down and make sure, as tired as you are and as much power as you're putting out, that your technique is flawless. And as you put the oar in the water and draw it through the water, and how you take it out, and what you do at the front of the stroke to the back of the stroke and in between, it all can mean inches in the matter of a 2,000 meter race, and that's how you can win by sometimes, is a couple inches. I was invited to Olympic training camp at Harvard. And the cool thing about that was I got to be coached by Harry Parker, probably one of the best coaches that was out there. We showed up for practice one day, and Harry sat us down and said that we were going to do a special erg. And that erg was going to be what he called a double turnover erg. And basically what he meant by that is you were going to row until your speedometer went from 0 up to 9,000, and then clicked over to 10,000. 10,000 would be back to 0, and then do it all over again without stopping. And that was probably one of the hardest things that I ever did. I would say maybe 45 minutes into it, and I was hurting pretty bad trying to keep up, and I somehow slipped my seat and fell off, but kept the oar going. And I tried to kind of keep the seat going back and forth, and I adjusted it with one hand, and I had my hand on the oar, just kept it moving. And I thought a couple times about stopping, and just saying, this isn't, I'm not going to be able to do it. But I decided to stick with it. And the funny thing is, once you got past that first hour on that erg of rowing, it was just like anything else. It just, your mental toughness comes in. That you're into it, and you're going to have to go into it again, and you just kind of you got to bear down and just put it to the back of your head, and it's just like an endurance race at that point, And so I stuck with it. I had the opportunity to row in the National Sports Festival out in Colorado, where it was kind of predecessor for the Pan American Games, I think. And it was in 1983. There were a few thousand athletes there. The best part of it was I was fortunate enough to be in a boat with others that when we did race, we won a gold medal in an And, I was quite proud of that. It was a culmination of, a lot of years, and it's a great feeling when you're in a boat like that with great rowers. And I had been rowing for a long time, but when you're in a boat with the caliber of people, it's taken it to a whole different level, and you feel, when that boat moves through the water, it's nothing like you've ever felt before. And it's kind of like, if you play golf and you hit that perfect drive, it keeps you coming back. You could play 18 holes and never hit a ball like that again, but there might be one day that you hit that ball perfectly and far. I was fortunate enough to be part of some really good teams, and was able to work with a lot of great people and row with a lot of great people. And, I learned a lot from them, but in doing so, you learn how to communicate, and you learn how to be a leader in that manner, but also you can carry that over into, what you do in your career. I think, when you see a lot of people out there in boats rowing, at the age of, 50, 60, 80, they do it for those reasons, because it's really a great sport, and you get a great feeling. It's kind of something kind of like golf that you could do, most of your life. You're never going to be too old to do it. I haven't gotten in a boat in a long time myself, but I enjoy watching, and I keep in touch with my friends who, some of them still do row. But I hope to be in a boat someday soon and get back into shape, and get back into enjoying it, because it is an enjoyable sport. I would definitely credit, my experience in rowing with success that I've had in my career.